Hi friends, welcome to VJ Tech 360. In this video, we are going to see about the core resource available in the Azure. So in this video, we are going to see about the particularly about virtual machines, app services, Azure container instances, and Kubernetes services and Windows Virtual Desktop. So to start with, if you see what is virtual machine, you are all aware of like just virtual machine is just like a software emulsion of your physical computer. So on base you will have all the physical servers like hard disk, CPU, RAM, NIC cards, all will be available. But by using some softwares like hypervisor, they are going to convert this particular server into virtual machines. That is called as a virtual machine. It is just like a software emulsion of your physical computer. So virtual computers or servers that are running in a cloud, they are called it as a virtual machines. If you see, you have a user station like this, you can consider your laptop also. You have your CPU, right? You have your hard disk, either it may be HDD or SSD, and you have a RAM, you have a NIC card attached to it, and you have an operating system installed in it. This is like your laptop, okay? For that, what they do is like they will use a software like hypervisors, and there are many third-party vendors for that also. So they just use it, and what they do is they will convert into again virtual machine. Okay, on base they can convert into multiple virtual machines. This is called as virtual machine. And a guest OS can be installed on the VM, okay, separate and totally independent from the host operating system. So you can have a Linux operating system in your base machine, but you can install any operating system on the virtual machine, which is from the user station. Like the software is installed, right? Hypervisor will be there. After that, you will have all the virtual machine. You can install operating system in one virtual machine. You can install Linux. In another virtual machine, you can install Windows, and another one you can install Ubuntu or something. Okay, but you have your base station operating system of your choice. Again, it may be a Linux or it may be Windows, but you have a choice to install any OS on the guest, or on this particular virtual machines. Okay, that operating system they call it as a guest OS. Nothing to confuse here. And virtual machine acts as a physical computer. So whenever you see virtual machine, it looks same as your what we call physical machine, like your laptop or computer. It looks like same. And if you see virtual machine use cases, so Azure Virtual Machine represents infrastructure as a service Azure offer. So Azure offer you virtual machine as a infrastructure as a service. You should remember this. You might have questions on this also. And Azure Virtual Machine give you flexibility of virtualization without having to buy and maintain the physical hardware that runs on it. So as we discussed earlier, you need to have a physical infrastructure, right? So what they are trying to tell here is you need not to buy. So Azure will buy behalf of you, okay? And they are going to convert that physical servers into virtual machines, and you are going to use them, okay? So that is what they are discussing. However, you need to still maintain the virtual machine by performing tasks such as configuration you have to do, patching you have to do, and installing the software that runs on it. Okay, you need to install your own operating you need to install your own operating system, and you need to apply the patches, and you need to install any software. If you want to run Python, you need to install that also. Okay, in such a way the virtual machines are designed. Okay, so if you see here, what when these virtual machines can be used, like if you are developing or testing any of the application, then you can make use of this virtual machine. Okay, and if you have applications in the cloud, you can make use of this virtual machine like your physical server. It will do what your physical server do. Okay, virtual, I'm talking like virtual machine do same things. And whenever you want to extend the data center, you can make use of the virtual machine also. Okay, and Azure virtual machines are available in different sizes. Okay, being able to serve different use cases. Like some people will need more RAM, some people will need more CPU, some people they need high disk throughputs. Okay, based on your use case or client requirement, you need to select the virtual machine. Okay, though if you see what are the types available, you have general purpose, you have compute optimized, you have memory optimized, you have storage optimized, you have GPU, and high performance compute where everything is powerful, like RAM is good in size, disk throughput is good, and CPU is very high. Now if you see general purpose, whenever you want to have a balanced CPU and memory, you can make use of this general purpose. Or whenever you have high CPU but low in memory, like low RAM is enough, and but I need high CPU, then you need to go for the compute optimized. And if you see memory optimized, you need high memory and lower CPU. If you see storage optimized, this will have a highest disk throughput and IOPS. So generally this will be used for the database operations. Okay, and if you see GPU, they have a heavy traffic rendering and video editing. So whenever you are doing any applications with some video editing or big website traffic and all, then you need to go for the GPU. Like some people will edit videos, some people will edit big websites, all those you can make use of this GPU utilization. And if you see high performance compute, as we discussed, whenever you need high CPU, memory, and throughput, disk throughput, you can select the this type of virtual CPUs like high performance compute or those. And if you see, so whatever we spoke right now is just about CPU and RAM. And now right now we are going to talk about storage, which may be SSD or HDD. Now if you see, Azure managed disks or the block level storage. So in storage, two level will be there. One is object level storage, other one is block level storage. I will discuss this when I am discussing about the storage. Okay, don't worry about that. Just remember right now what we are talking is about the managed disks. This is like SSD and HDD, or a block level storage that are managed by the Azure and used with the virtual machine, Azure virtual machine. So you can make use of those disks and you can attach them to your virtual machines. That is the main point you have to remember. Managed disks are like a physical disk in an on-premises server, but they are virtualized. Okay, so in real world, what you had seen for your laptop or desktop or whatever server you have, it will be like a physical rack to you, right? Like a physical what we call chip to you or a magnetic tape to you. But when it comes to cloud, it is just like a virtualized. Okay, but back end it will be like a physical hard disk available. Okay, but it is virtualized. So whatever you are seeing is not a real hard disk, but it acts like a real hard disk to you. Okay, with a managed disk, all you have to do is, so you need not to specify, you need not to what we call this configure all those. Everything is taken care by the Azure itself. Only two things you have to define. One is what is the disk size you need and what is the disk type you need. Okay, and Azure will provision the disk. So rest all activities will be taken care by the Azure, and they will attach that hard disk to your virtual machine. That is Azure job. Okay, and if you see disk type, there are SSD, ultra disk, and premium disk, and standard SSD and standard HDD. So just to make it simple, whenever you have a high intensive workloads like a SAP HANA or top tier database like SQL, Oracle, such type of heavy transaction or heavy workloads, you can make use of this ultra disk. Okay, and what is the disk type for this? SSD is the disk type. And next, if you go to premium SSD, you have a SSD disk for that, and where it is used for production and performance sensitive workloads. So whenever you have a production and performance sensitive workloads, you can make use of this premium SSD. And if you see standard SSD, this type is also SSD type, where it is used in web servers or lightly used enterprise application and development testing. So whenever you want to use it for any web server, or whenever you want to test some application or develop some application, then you can make use of this standard SSD. Okay, and other one is the standard HDD, which is a magnetic type, which we use our normally. Okay, this can be used for the backup and non-critical applications and infrequent access. So make sure whenever you are selecting standard HDD, so it is used for the backup or non-critical application. Okay, and infrequent access, you can keep your infract, like some file servers you won't access them frequently, right? That time you can make use of this opportunity. Okay, like standard HDD is the best because this is the cheapest among all of this. Okay, that's why you save a lot of money and you can have all the non-critical applications over here. Okay, so right now you got an overview like when the ultra disk is used, when the premium SSD used, and when the standard SSD is used and standard HDD is used. So right now we are okay with CPU, we are okay with RAM, we are okay with storage. What else is pending? NIC. So NIC will be there in networking. Okay, so I will discuss this detail in about the virtual networking basics. So right now what we are going to see is, so if you see the basic of virtual network we are talking. Okay, I will have a dedicated videos on this virtual machine networking. Okay, don't worry about that. For now you just remember like Azure Virtual, which we call it as a VNets. Okay, are fundamental building blocks for a private network in a Azure. It's like it acts like your own data center in Azure cloud. Okay, so you can create your own network in Azure or cloud. Okay, that we call it as a virtual network, which is also called as VNet. So VNet enables virtual machine to communicate between them over the internet with your on-premises DC. So you can make use of this virtual machines and see, you can make use of this virtual network, and one virtual machine can talk to other virtual machine. How they are going to talk? By using a private IP address. Okay, for every machine, for every virtual machine you had launched, there is a private IP address available. So by using that private IP address, they are going to talk with each other. But if they want to talk with the outside internet world, they should have a public IP address. Okay, so think of your traditional IP networking that you need to set up in your organization or your DC, VNet or your dedicated network running in Azure. Like if you started one organization, you need to establish the network, right? Like that, the same thing what you have to do in your organization, the same things you are going to do it in cloud. Okay, so a network is created for you. Okay, and virtual machine availability options in the Azure cloud. Okay, what are the availability options? This is very important to you should remember that. Okay, there are few options that provides you to achieve high availability, scalability and redundancy. So this all we are aware, like in previously we discussed about this high availability, scalability, redundancy. But what are the options? If you see, there is high availability options available for virtual machine, which I am going to show you in portal. No worries about that. So the very first one is high availability. So always Azure tell you like if you use my virtual machine, it will be available for 99.95 percentage, but you need more availability. Okay, then you need to go for the availability sets, availability zones and virtual scale sets. So these are the various high availability options available in the Azure. Okay, now I am going to show you demo. In next video I am going to show you demo how you can launch the Windows virtual machine, how you are going to launch the Linux virtual machine, how you can convert into web server, and I will show you how you can create your own web server and how you can check the connections and all in the next video. I hope this help you.